today's news from Ukraine. The armed forces of Ukraine struck the headquarters of the Russian invaders. In the Zaporozhye region, the headquarters of the Russian Guard unit was blown up in the temporarily occupied Energodar. A drone flew there, reported the Main Intelligence Directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. It is stated that after the occupation of the city, the Russian troops captured and converted for their needs the building where the local branch of one of the Ukrainian banks was located. There was an explosion there this morning. As a result, the personnel of the occupiers and cars parked in the yard were injured. A fire started in the room. Fire brigades and ambulances arrived at the scene. Information on the number of liquidated and wounded is currently being clarified. There are no victims among the civilian population. It is stated that after a series of explosions, the Russians urgently evacuated the local military-civilian administration. Currently, Energodar is undergoing inspections and access to the internet is limited. Earlier it became known that military scouts and representatives of the resistance movement of Ukraine carried out a series of attacks on the occupiers in the Zaporozhye region on Flag Day and Independence Day of Ukraine. Also, the Main Intelligence Directorate of Ukraine showed the undermining of the Energodar police station. The explosion occurred in the chief's office. Then, in the police chief's office, a powerful explosion rang out. As a result, the head of the city department, Colonel of Russia Shsanov Pavlo Valerievich, his deputy for operational work, the head of the investigative department, the head of the duty unit and the heads of a number of units received numerous injuries. Immediately after the explosion, they were rushed to the local hospital. Russia's attack on the Ukrainian cities of Kryvyi Rih and Poltava. Last night, the Russian occupiers from two military planes from the occupied Kherson region fired two guided air missiles in the direction of Kryvyi Rih, which were destroyed by Ukrainian air defense. But of the 4-caliber cruise missiles fired by the aggressor from a frigate near Feodosia, only half were shot down. A civilian industrial object was hit. The pre-service of the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine told about this in the morning summary on its page in the social network Facebook. The head of the Poltava Regional Military Administration, Dmytro Lunin, said that the enemy had destroyed the production workshop of a civilian industrial enterprise. 2 people were killed, 2 were injured, 2 were missing. The head of the president's office, Andriy Yermak, clarified that the Russians struck a village in the Mirorod district. As a result of the explosion, the premises of the oil mill burned down. 2 people were killed and 5 people who worked in the night shift were injured. The armed forces of Ukraine advanced 1 kilometer near Vuhledar. Recently, the section of the front in the Vuhledar region rarely appears in the news. For example, the spokesman of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Pavlo Kovalchuk, in today's summary for the past 24 hours, mentioned only the air and artillery shelling of the Russian occupiers in the Vuhledar direction. The Telegram channel Donbass Operative announced the following at lunch today: the coal mining aspect of the front. The armed forces of Ukraine broke through the defenses of the Russian occupiers and advanced 1 kilometer deep near the settlement of Shevchenko. Ukrainian troops achieved success south of Bakhmut. Over the past week, Ukrainian defenders liberated 1 square kilometer of territory in the direction of Bakhmut, in the Klishchivka district, south of Bakhmut, and only 44 square kilometers in the summer. Deputy Minister of Defense Hanna Maliar told about this, among other things, in the summary for last week, published on her Telegram channel. She also indicated that the invaders were putting up a desperate resistance and were unsuccessfully trying to regain their lost position in the Orahovo-Vasilivka, northern of Bakhmut, and Klishchivka areas. Let us add that not a single settlement on this part of the front was liberated during the summer. However, Klishchivka and neighboring Andrivka are partially controlled by the armed forces of Ukraine, and the rest of their territories are in the gray zone, active fighting. Ukrainians destroyed 2 Russian electronic warfare stations. Missile and artillery units of the defense forces of the last day hit 4 artillery pieces in firing positions, an ammunition depot and 2 electronic warfare stations of the Russian invaders. Among other things, the press center of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine told about this in the morning summary published on the official page on the Facebook social network. In turn, People's Deputy and frontline volunteer Yuri reported that Ukrainian defenders destroyed a self-propelled artillery installation of the invaders in the Zaporozhye region. The published video was taken from the monitor of the operators of the unmanned aerial vehicle, whose operators found a large target in the firing positions and corrected a well-hit attack on it from an unknown weapon. A direct hit is visible.